Welcome to the ROCM Podcast, presented by ROCM Esports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the ROCM Podcast. I'm with my co-hosts, Richard
Hello.
and Johnty.
Hello.
And today we have a very special guest again. We have Erik Woning.
Yes, hi.
He is the house master, I guess I could say, of the place where our esports lab is. And we're going to basically ask questions how it all started, what his opinion is on esports. And basically talk about him. So how are you doing?
I am good, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Finally, to be a guest in your podcast. It took you so long.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
You're always busy.
You're always, that's also,
Might
he is
be it,
always busy.
yeah.
How are my co-hosts as well?
Yeah, I'm okay. I guess.
Okay.
I'm fine. Yes, I'm doing good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so Erik,
Yeah.
introduce yourself a bit. Who are you?
Okay, my name is Erik. I am the, as you said, like the huisbaas of the. I'm the boss of the technical innovation space from ROCM mondriaan. And I coordinate all the events, all the projects, all the activities and the workshops that we do here. I've been doing it for almost 3 years now. I started in the middle of the, at the beginning of the COVID lockdowns. So that was my first day at the office here. A lot of time for reflection on what we had here, for what we could do here. But it was a tough start, of course. But I've been working at ROCM mondriaan a bit longer. I've worked 2 years before I started here. I already worked 2 years in a different department of the schools, where I was mainly focused on bringing innovation and education together, but not just specifically for one school, but for all the different schools that mondriaan has. So it's a lot of projects at that time. It was interesting, but then the opportunity came to come to the tech campus and to do a bit more for just a couple of schools, so I could pay more attention to the details and be more involved in the projects themselves than just flying by and doing something and then have to leave again to another thing. So yeah, it's been really good.
So the technical innovation home, just the whole thing is kind of new altogether.
It is. Well, it was already started, of course, before I came here. The technical innovation home or house, whatever you want to call it, house. It has been founded in September of 2017. Okay. So it's now we're approaching our 5th anniversary. We've already had it.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even celebrate that.
Oh,
Wow.
Not yet.
Not yet.
yet.
We will.
Not yet.
Well, we've had a rough
Sure.
couple of years behind us with of course, with COVID pandemic and not being able to have people come to my house, so to speak. And we had, of course, some troubles with with our network and the security, the hack that we've experienced.
Yes.
So it was difficult times. But the Technical Innovation House was already in place when I started here, and its purpose is actually to bring innovation, education, and business and technology together, so that the students can get some experience with more new technologies like virtual reality or other technical things, but also projects based on the energy transition, solar energy, or sustainable energy. Projects that are not yet in the regular classes, in the regular lessons. That's something that we try to do here at the Technical Innovation House.
Yeah. So a recent addition of the Technical Innovation House, which is also the reason this entire podcast exists, is the esports program.
It is.
It's new. It started last year, of course, but I was curious. Where did the idea come from?
Well, actually, it already was a very vague idea before I came here. My predecessor, Sebastian, who is now the director of the School of IT, he and a colleague actually went to a school in Denmark, and they already had a similar program. So it was interesting to learn more about that, what they were doing. And he already played with the idea to have it also a part of our school. But that was really vague, and the only thing that we really had was the idea that the computers that we had in a certain classroom they needed to be replaced. So there was already some budget for that. And they needed to be computers that were also capable to run 3D programs in order for our construction department from the schools. They have to work more and more with 3D environments, like drawings from buildings or technical drawings. And it so happens to be that 3D graphic cards are also good for gaming. So we kind of made use of the opportunity that we needed to replace the computers and really focused actually on the esports side of things, because we could like mix the two. And that's always a big issue, because you need to invest quite a bit of money to get good computers to get an esports program set up.
Yeah,
And we were able to do that.
Yeah, because
like
you need to be able to stream, not only play the game, but also stream it at the same time. So
Yeah.
you can't just have the bare minimum gaming computer.
No.
You need a little bit extra to...
Well, it's that, and we also wanted computers that the students themselves could like assemble, put together. So we bought the components, which was really difficult in the period that we did it. We did it in the middle of COVID, the pandemic. There was a really big shortage of computer parts and chips.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to go home and game, I guess. It was interesting. So we had some problems with that. It took really long before we had everything we needed to build the computers. But then finally we had everything and we could start building. We built 24 systems with the students, which was a challenge for sure. We lost some parts during the process.
I can remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the end, it worked out. So, of course, it's a hardware thing. We did the hardware. It was like the start of the program, but at the same time, we've been building very hard. What would you say? We've done a lot of effort to also create a good educational program around it, and not just create a nice gaming environment, but also a good program that we did.
Yeah, that's a good bridge into esports in education. Like.
Mhm.
It's kind of a growing thing, esports in education. I mean, at least in the Netherlands. In some countries, it's done almost at any school, like Denmark.
Yeah.
That's why Sebastian went to Denmark, probably, to get to a school there.
Yeah.
How do you see, like, esports in education?
Yeah, we see a lot of opportunities for it, actually. And a lot of schools in the Netherlands are doing something with esports at the moment. There are universities, high schools, a lot of different kind of implementations of esports, from the more lifestyle and sports approach to a more social approach that like students that don't have a safe environment at home, that they can come to school to game, or during vacations or holidays. And our focus is more to approach the esports industry as a whole, and to try to see where can we specialize in order. Do you want to specialize more in the esports business side? So you want to run your own esports arena, environment, business, or esports team. We also have the more social media and like branding and commercial side of it. And we want to do more about game development. That's something that we're interested in, like you guys are doing.
Yeah.
But also the technical side, running the business, and how can you make a good management software package for an esports arena. So, yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit of context. Me and Johnty, we are creating a car simulator. There's going to be a podcast at some point about that when we're further in the project.
Yeah.
We haven't done that yet. We haven't invited ourselves to the podcast
Oh,
yet.
shit. Yeah,
So,
it can be interesting.
The information about the ROCM car simulator is still limited, but we have dropped some hints during the podcast.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a podcast about that coming. Yeah, so esports in education, it's a big thing that is coming up. The main thing that I learned personally, I think, is communication. That improved during this year as well, because of esports, because of communicating with different types of people. Also, the podcast helped with that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are more skills, of course. What more skills could be learned, in your opinion?
Yeah, so much. I've been really surprised to see how many different lesson topics and skills that come into play when it comes to esports. There's so many things that you can do. And we really focus, of course, on the human skills, the soft skills like communication, leadership, problem solving. You have to be like persistent in what you do. If you lose a game, or well, you also have to like keep going. And there's a lot of collaboration, of course. You have to do it together. You have to do some research maybe about certain things. And there are a lot of social and cultural skills that you're learning. Of course, you're busy with people from all over the world, gaming with them or against them, but also in your own group of students. There's a lot of diversity, a lot of different education programs that normally those students you wouldn't interact with normally. So, those soft skills, 21st century skills or human skills are very important, I think, to learn. And also the more technical skills that come from how do you plan a tournament in esports? What do you need to set up? How do you like keep score? What do you need to do to make everything ready, to make a good stream? Make sure that you record the stream and keep it so that you can later use it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we lost one. We had a like Rocket League little demo thing. We lost that one because Twitch automatically deletes streams.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. You need to enable that somewhere that it saves it for like 2 weeks and you can download it and stuff.
Yeah.
Very sad. Lost tapes, lost media, you could say.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but because it would have been really interesting to show other people what we did that time. But there will be definitely more opportunities for that. I think it's very interesting to see the collaboration that we did a couple of weeks ago with students from the fashion design department.
Yes.
To help them and to ask them, could you design our jerseys for the teams? It was a very interesting week. We did a really short sprint session for it, but the students themselves were very excited about coming here, meeting you as esports students, and designing a cool shirt for you guys. So that I was really surprised how well that worked actually.
Yeah.
And that's just with the fashion department. We have plans to work together with the hotel and management school. There's a cooking school also there. Could they maybe, because the esports excellence program starts at 5 and you're all hungry, you need to eat something. And I see all the time you guys with McDonald's bags, and McDonald's is closed at the moment, so that helps maybe a little bit. But we're trying to figure out, can we ask the students from the chef school to create like ready-to-eat meals for you guys, so that you come here, you get a good meal, good nutrition, and then you can train and like do more than just McDonald's in your stomach.
I think Richard has suggested that before with the hotel management, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in the beginning, there was a lot of vague things. Not everything was sure, and a lot of brainstorming with the process. So in the beginning, I said like, yeah, we should need shirts and this and that. Same thing with collaboration. I'm a big enthusiast when it goes about working together with schools. And in the beginning, I was like, yeah, I mean, why would we hire someone else to do it, or either spend money on big companies on helping us getting things that are healthy and good in the organization? Why not use that skill ourselves?
Yep.
We are a big school group. If we are using our school group to move forward, it's not only good for the school itself, but also it kind of creates a community,
A
people
community
that
environment,
can, that can like. This is one of the projects where a lot of schools are gonna work together.
Yeah.
If we do that, if we continue to do that, that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
It's gonna really be amazing.
because ROC Mondriaan has like a lot of
Yeah.
educations. It has like hotel management. It has cooking. It has a bit of everything.
Business
But there is
management.
there's the problem that they're trying to figure out. How do you create more of a community that the educations come together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And
is,
I definitely believe that esports and maybe in that sense sometimes a bit more casual gaming also can be something that's really like a factor that combines all the interests of many of the students, of course.
Yeah.
So that's like a very good way to collaborate. So there's a lot of opportunity there that we still haven't used. There are marketing and communication students or business development. They can all play a part in this format and in this industry. And that's definitely one of the plans that we are having to grow our project further.
Yeah.
Because you guys are the first students that are doing this, and you had a lot to endure when it comes to setting, especially in the beginning, with all the systems not working, with the technical difficulties that we've had. So there's a lot of patience from you. But in the meantime, we've moved on and we've figured a lot of the things out, but still not perfect.
Not perfect,
but
but I mean, a lot of it has been solved.
I mean, it is part of the process, right?
Yeah,
Getting
that's-
the bigger picture and making it beautiful as it is. And I think that everyone is doing their part. In the beginning, a lot of setbacks, but let's keep going.
That's for us. That's what innovation is about. It's always trying and just starting to do things. If we would have waited until everything was perfect, then we could have only started like next year, not even this year. So we just started, but it's of course for you. At times it must be been frustrating to not be able to do what you signed up for.
But an interesting byproduct is like I think Johnty also had that. We kind of, because the computers didn't work, we kind of learned more about ICT. At the same time, because this isn't working. Why is it not working? So we tried to figure out what is not working. So even though there was a problem, it also made us learn something. So
well, what do you know?
It comes with something.
Wasn't all bad.
Because Sean, you right? Because you mentioned you might want to do like beer. It's
systems and devices.
Systems and devices, maybe. Is that also because of this? What happened before with the computers not working?
Like kinda yes, but the thing is, since a certain age I wanted to build my own computer. My parents were like, "No, don't do that. That's a lot of money that you can't ruin. Just buy a PC as a whole." So I did that, and later on I was like, "Oh, he bought his own PC. He built his own PC. I want to do that too." So when I got the chance here at school, like you mentioned at the beginning of the program, I was like very hyped, and I was really going into things deeper than just, okay, this part goes there and this part goes there. And I was really learning about the BIOS of the motherboard and things, all kind of things, features and things I didn't know of Windows, of motherboards or any other components. And a bit of motivation to do that.
The background processes of the computer.
So the first PC you've built was one of the esports PCs that we have now.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I already knew how to build it, but I only knew like the theory behind the building process. And the first actual build, I did it with someone who was very experienced. So it was like supporting more than building it himself. It's a bit it's a bit sad that his motivation has been lost for the program.
By some people, not by everyone.
Yeah,
there are
but
two groups.
I'm like
going
for one certain person. The guy who helped me build the PC, he had motivation for the program, and because things didn't work out like they should have, he lost the motivation to be in the program. So it's not all like everyone is like going through it and everyone is going out of it. There are people who actually dropped out because things didn't went the way they meant to be or they thought it would be.
Because maybe I can explain a bit how the excellence program is like structured. I don't know if you've already in a previous podcast talked about that.
No. I mean parts, but not a complete like explanation.
It's like for all the new listeners. I can explain a little bit what the idea was behind it and how it worked out in practice. Because we wanted to create a program that was not just about playing games. We had to do a lot of convincing about the other staff, the other colleagues that we have, that it's not just we're creating the special classroom where the students can game and just do the things that keeps them from their homework. We really wanted to have a good educational program around it. So we started with building like, okay, what do we want to learn the students? And we've used a British curriculum for it. There's like the British Esports Association. They work together with education. And they've developed several programs from university level to high school level with all kinds of learning goals, learning outcomes. And it's a very thorough and good program. So we were able to like shop around, this is the learning goal that we want to learn to our students. And we've built a curriculum that's based on 5 modules. First of all, it's a general like overview of the esports industry. What is it? You all know the games. You all know the games that are being played and some of the more well-known teams. But what's the world behind that? What kind of organizations are active? How do sponsorships work? What kinds of numbers and businesses are we talking about? What kind of roles are there? So a general overview, what can you do in esports industry and how broad is it and how is it growing and developing in the Netherlands, but also internationally? Then with that knowledge, you could build your own kind of idea. Where do you want to stand in that industry? You want to create your own team. What kind of game do you want to play? Get to know the other students a little bit. For that, we've also went to do like a physical boot camp activity where you guys got to know each other a little bit outside of the gaming, just doing like physical stuff, exercising together. Well, with that in place and some knowledge, we wanted to focus a bit more about skills, strategies, and analysis, like more what kind of coaching do you have? How do other sporting teams do that? We wanted to actually bring you to a football game in order to see, okay, who is doing what? Who is talking to the players during like halftime? What are they doing? We have a lot of connections with ADO The Hague, like the Dutch soccer team that we have. There's lots of collaboration with that, so we could have gone there. But of course, during like that period, it was difficult. We could still do that, by the way. If we
I mean, I'm down.
It would be interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
Because when it comes to sports, especially on a higher level, there's a lot of research being done. There's a lot of how do you call it, psychological training, and there's so much to learn that you can also, of course, apply in your own team, in your own esports program. After that, we wanted to learn more about the organizations that are there and the branding. There's a lot of social media, a lot of hype going on about collaborations with like famous people. How is that structured? How can you make use of branding and you're creating your own brand? And that's when the team shirts, for example, came into place. But also even before that, the podcast was developed by you guys. So that's also, you were like very ahead of everything. But it's interesting. A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
2 modules.
Sometimes I feel bad that I was like pushing this too hard, maybe.
Oh.
The thing is, we got like an idea. We see streaming in 4, but we have the idea now.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, let's just try to start doing it. We see how it goes.
Yeah.
Here we are. So,
yeah. No, but this is like a part, creating a podcast, talking to the people you want to engage with and you want to create content for, but also who you would like to be your followers or fans or the people that you want to reach. And a podcast is a very good way. But what I really like also that you guys create clips of this podcast, make it like TikTok videos or
like
on YouTube
bite-sized,
and bite-sized content. And that's really the way to do it. And you guys came up with that yourselves, of course, and maybe had some help. But so that's really interesting. That's really good to see that it's your ideas and your initiatives to bring this a step further than we could have thought in the beginning. And that's, for me, it's really cool to see.
Okay.
So we have, after that, those 3 things. We have 2 more modules to go. Like you said, about streaming. We really want to invite some high-profile streamers to campus here to talk to you guys about how they did that. What is the things that you need to pay attention to? How can you create your own streams, better streams, and what do you need to learn? And we all want to close this project with a very fun and famous or like big international esports events that you guys have to set up and plan.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, interesting. So we have had a streamer on the podcast before as well.
Yeah.
He was American though. So
but still you can learn.
He's across the world.
You can learn from Americans.
It's it was interesting because we like because he's from America, we had to do it like late. And it was like 9 a.m. for him. Yeah. It was like 11 p.m. for us.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it was fun to do though. Still learn from it.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
But Erik, Do you play games yourself?
Of course I do. I'm a very casual gamer. I really like to play games with a story in it, like more. The Last of Us is one of the nicest games
yes.
I really like to play. So those kind of games, made story-driven games. But in the meantime, sometimes I just play Call of Duty for an hour or so. So really casually.
Together with Ernest.
No, I haven't seen Ernest yet. I need to add him actually on my list to game with him, because I think I can beat him.
Okay. Important question.
Right.
Controller or keyboard and mouse?
Keyboard and mouse for sure.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the shooters
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
I cannot do that with a controller.
Let's
Yes.
go.
What's your favorite game of all time?
The Last of Us for sure.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I like it. It's so well made, and the details are really good.
Yeah.
It's nicely done.
It's like being in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm interested. They are making a television series about it right now.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yep.
about that, but
It's a series or a movie?
I'm not sure actually.
I think it was a
series?
movie. I'm not sure.
Fact check that. please.
Fact check though.
Fact check.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I saw a trailer earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's gonna be interesting.
HBO series. Yeah,
Series. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm very nervous about seeing it, about
Yeah.
the series. That maybe because of the series I won't like the game, or maybe
Yeah, it could
because of
ruin
the
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hit or miss with
Yeah.
series or movies of games. Sometimes they
It's
ruin it.
more often a miss than a hit.
Yeah,
And it's
Yeah.
it's
I
so
mean,
hard to
they
do.
have gotten better at it. Like Arcane, the League of Legends series
Oh,
is
yeah.
pretty good.
Yep.
It's
There's a Tekken series, anime, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's pretty good.
It blew up. It really blew
Yeah.
up the whole.
Right, but it's different
whole-
because that's anime, and this is like
Yeah, this is
with
real
real
ac-
people.
yeah.
This is like
Live action. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
different.
okay.
But we'll see, and it's a very fun game actually. And,
Yeah.
amazing game.
Actually,
yeah, I like it.
I've never asked this before. Johnty, what's your favorite game of all time?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna stick with nostalgia. I'm just gonna say Mario Bros.
Mario Bros. Just the origin. There are like 20.
Yeah, I know, but it's really hard to choose because I really grew up with the DS version, but I have played the Wii version more, and like I really don't know which one to choose. So
Okay, but if you had to choose,
if I had to choose one game, I like the Wii better than the DS, so I'll go with the Wii version.
okay. And Richard, what about you?
Yeah, I'm a survival gamer, so Daisy.
Daisy?
Daisy
Alright.
is pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, Daisy. I always get this great gear, and then I like fall off a ladder, and my leg's broken. and
Yes,
I'm
it's.
stuck.
I mean, Daisy is one of those games that you gotta really try, and if you try and you fail, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
It's
You feel the pain.
over. You
You
feel
feel
the
the
pain.
Feel the
It's not fun.
But then you keep going and keep going, and then you have like a lot of mods and a lot of maps that you can explore. It's like it never really ends because every time
No.
you drop in, you see a new location or new space or a new place, and you think like, damn, this game is pretty good.
And
Yeah, it's frustrating.
it takes forever to walk somewhere, so
Yep.
it
Yeah,
takes a lot of time.
I understand with broken legs.
Of course, yeah, that's not easy. No.
I guess I have two categories of favorite games. Because I have my favorite game of all time. I think that's Red Dead Redemption
Hmm.
from Rockstar
Yeah.
Games.
Oh,
It's just
yes.
just made so perfectly. It's like
Yes.
the graphics, the voice acting, the story is just one good package. But as an esports, that is
Oh.
not an esports.
No.
That is for me Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
For that, it's my favorite game is Counter-Strike. I
Yeah.
like to watch it, like to play it, like to learn how to get better. So
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah.
two categories in a way.
Yeah, and a while ago we had a podcast with Jacob, which was
Yeah,
amazing.
about
and we were
music.
like talking about music and how important it all is to creating it. It's like music is such a big part of gaming. I'm not sure because The Last of Us has a lot of music in it. Do you have any music you think of that you think like they did that very well in any game?
Well, indeed, in The Last of Us, like the guitar music, the really atmospheric music that they did there is very good. In other games, I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna confess something, as you may not know, but I'm very old.
Oh,
Yes. And when I was young, way back, I had a Commodore 64. So that's like that was my first computer.
Yeah.
And you needed to play games with like either cassette tapes or other stuff. And they had this game called Outrun. It was a racing game. And they had really good music in it, where you could actually hear a voice say the name of the game, like Outrun. And that was pretty spectacular back in the day, that you could like, whoa, it's like you can hear someone's voice. But that wasn't really normal in computer games.
Yeah, because you had very limited space to store sound on those things.
Right.
So it was hard to
So it was all these
store voices.
this electronic MIDI made music,
8-bit music.
8-bit music.
Oh, I love
And you also had those key gen apps that you could use to play like illegal games on the PC next time. I didn't do that, my friends did that, of course, but I watched them do it. And the key gen music were also pretty fun usually. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, music in video games. It's I think my favorite music is like from Payday or from Hotline Miami. It's just this energetic, upbeat music, like this power that is in the music. It's very good. But they used like whole composers and everything, like a big team to make the music.
Right.
So yeah, it's very good though.
That's something, by the way, I really like about Undertale. I mean, I guess you guys played it though, or
I played it briefly.
Yeah, okay, but it's Undertale. It's made by like 2-3 guys. I mean, in total, like
music is done by Toby.
Yeah, okay,
Game
music
is done by Toby.
Yeah, I thought
Graphics
it were
are
like
done.
two. I thought it were like 2 or 3 friends, but that helped Toby.
Helped him, yeah.
Okay. Because I know you have the character like Temmie from Temtem Village. He was like based on his character or something.
Like that,
I don't know the specifics, but I really love the soundtrack of Undertale.
Yeah, that's also very good. Yeah,
And
it's
because it's so. It's not very up tempo or anything. I mean, some things are, but I mean, some is like very retro in the type of instruments or how they made the music. But then you have like for the outro, you know, with the credits, you have like the song that's literally called Undertale. That's the guitar, the very very down beat guitar solo. It's very nice to listen to if you just want to relax.
So for context. For Erik, Undertale is like a game. If you first see it, you're like, what is this? You're like, the graphics are bad. What is going on in this? Why is this so popular? But in Undertale, it's more like the art form of gaming really comes forward, because the game is set up in a way that you connect with the characters and stuff. But you don't hear any voices; it's just text. But just the way it's written and just the way you communicate, and you can make choices in the game, you get a connection with the game.
Yeah,
quite literally have a connection with the game, because the game literally changes as you progress to the story. I won't spoil anything on the podcast, because then I spoiled for everyone listening, and maybe you want to play it yourself.
You can recommend it.
But it's good. It's an interesting experience.
And it's a really big game. And you can make it as hard as that you want.
Yes.
Because I know there are some things in the game, and I'm not going to even say what, because that can be a spoiler.
It can be...
There are fights.
Fights.
There are all kinds of stuff in the game that can be frustrating.
But if you choose to do so, that's what you could say.
I'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there will be a second Undertale.
Yeah, I mean second. It's kind of a spin-off.
I mean, it's the same universe.
Deltarune.
It's a spin-off. Yeah, it will be coming out in July 16th.
Apparently, there's a release date.
Full game.
It will be released.
Yeah, but it's like the full game, because I know part 1 and 2 or chapter 1 and 2 are released free just because they were done. But the rest of the game was like going to release somewhere.
Like the version Undertale 2, Shadows of Time. That sequel is going to come out.
I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah,
interesting.
Especially for the soundtrack.
I'm wondering about music. That's going to be something big.
Speaking about things that will happen in the future, Erik, how do you see yourself in the future?
Oh man, I don't know.
Let's say 2027.
2027. That's 5 years from now.
Yes.
I just saw a meme about stop asking me where I'll be in 5 years. So maybe that's the thing. Okay. Well, I really, esports and the excellence program that we've developed this year and what we're doing right now, that's really one of the most promising projects I think that we have here at the Technical Innovation House. It's not specifically technical or just for the campus here, but it's got a lot of potential. And what we want to do is build this further have more students from our schools join, be able to bring this to more people, not just in a form of a program that you guys are following right now, but also in very different types of workshops and very different types of what's a keuzedeel called in English? Like an optional
You
course
have
that you
like,
can follow.
extra class.
extra curriculum.
Yeah, you have your like programs that you can choose.
Yeah.
Okay,
program.
so you have your education, your degree,
Classes.
and you have like some choices you can make. Like you
Yeah.
have 3 things you can choose.
Like a
You can choose
minor.
one of them.
Yeah.
Like a minor or major, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Yeah.
that could be something, a direction that we can go to, like have more students like make the choice to learn more about the esports industry and keep it also like the program that you're following is more like in detail, it's more thorough, and you can also like make it a bit more shorter or just an introduction for one day. But also it's might even be the next educational program that we then you have IT, you have like construction, and you have esports as a separate educational program that you can follow here.
That would be sick.
Yeah, it would be good. But I also think that we are one of the first that are really developing it right now in a way that we approach the esports industry as a whole and not just about sports, not just about well-being or other stuff. It's an integral program that are a lot of things that we can do. So it's for sure in potential we can have like a lot of students that are interested in, but they also have an opportunity to do something with that kind of education and make a chance to get a good job afterwards. That's also very important, of course. So what I really like also is that we have a good collaboration with students from the college, from the Haagse Hogeschool, from other professional education on a higher level. And that collaboration is also very interesting, and that's something that we want to expand even more.
This stuff is very easy to tell us, because we understand like, oh, esports, this we kind of know that it's gonna be a big thing in the future.
Yeah.
But some people, they don't get it. They might be old, or they are like esports, computers, what is all this? How do you like convince those type of people that don't immediately get it?
Yeah, I think one of the most powerful things that we can do is see how you guys are working and doing the events that we've done in the past with the opening of the esports space that we have. All the different people that were involved in that, from presenting the teams, having a shoutcaster to present the match and the tournament that you've been playing. That was very interesting. And then the students, the teacher actually, that there were like in the audience, they were really impressed with all the diversity of the roles and the things that came together at that moment. So that's the best way to do it. We have to experience them for themselves, have them come over in the esports lab to do a workshop with them. But I think it's getting easier and easier to convince them now that we have set it up and they can see what's going on there. There are so many people excited about it.
I feel like that's true. Like when people, I've noticed it that when people come over to the esports lab, they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like that it starts to connect more. Than just you can play games and make money. They're like, okay, sure. But if they come over, they see the things, they see the tournaments, they see like what everyone's doing. They're like, oh wow, maybe my kids should do this.
Yeah.
And my kid is doing something cool.
Your shit should do this.
You should. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say kid, but I misspoke.
We can bleep this.
No,
but you're right. And the students themselves, you guys are the best like promoters of this and ambassadors of this. And what really helps for us is that you're also doing like good, getting good grades in the like your normal regular lessons and the programs, that you're serious about it, and that you're like, how do you say that? Taking these lessons also seriously. You know that it's not just about gaming. It's a part of it, of course. You have your team, you do the work, but it's also like having an open mind to learn about other things and do initiatives like this, like creating your podcast. And that is something that I can like throw at other teachers that said, but they're doing this. They've made their own podcast. They made their own websites. They're doing like international guests coming over here from the US and doing the podcast completely in English, so they're learning more English. And there are so many little things that I can like throw in a discussion about the effectiveness and the use of esports in a school environment. And also, of course, we did some research at the beginning. We asked the students, how many do you like to play games? Like 98% of our student population here said they play games.
They play,
Most of them play also online games, but even 64 or even more percent play more than 4 hours a day. And it's also a concern for us, because if you play that many hours of games during a day, is there enough time left that you need to like spend on your education, on your homework, or do the projects that you need to do?
But then the question is, in my eyes at least, when did you do this? When did you ask the students this? Because if it was like in the pandemic period, when COVID was there, everyone had like 2 days of school and 3 days at home. Where they weren't doing anything. No. So 4 hours a day was less than normal, because you have more time in general to actually play games and do your homework at the same time.
Yeah, it was during COVID, of course. So that might have influenced, of course, those results. But still, when I look at myself, when I was like 16, 17, my schoolwork wasn't that much time during a day, so I had a lot of time to play games. So 4 hours is it's not that much. So I could be guilty of that too. But anyway, it's something that our teachers are concerned about, because the students are already playing a lot of games. Why do we need to facilitate something like that at school? But more and more they see, well, it's a means to connect with the students and to have a discussion about gaming addiction and how are you feeling, and is that a problem for you or whatever. We can ignore it, but it's still there, and it still happens.
I found that it's like I play less games overall now than I did before, but I found that for esports, it is better to have those hours that you do spend in the game, to have them to play more efficiently in a way.
Right.
Like. Because I play less of the game, Counter-Strike, but I have improved. Which is like, but you need to play more to get better. Well, not necessarily. It's how you spend that time. Yeah. You could play 2 hours a day and still be good. It's just how do you spend those 2 hours? How do you improve? Do you watch back what you did wrong? Do you just play and, next game, next game. Then you don't improve. Right. So,
That's like one of the major things we've seen, because we had a guest speaker from
University of
Twente University.
Yeah.
And he came, and from that moment on, we started thinking, like, with a small group, like, hey, we should start analyzing stuff.
Yeah.
And from then on, we weekly check stuff. We record our games, or the games that we record currently are CS:GO as a test. We're kind of.
I mean, that's automatic.
It's kind of automatic test, right?
Yeah, you can download the games.
And to see that everything falls in the pieces. It's like a puzzle. It's like you need this, you need that, you need this. And slowly, but finally, there's a lot of things that we understand. And immediately performance goes higher.
Yeah. We use, for CSGO, we use Leadify, which is a program that analyzes your games automatically. It's like artificial intelligence that's like, okay, this happened in this game. This is what you did wrong. This is what could be better. This was good. I could show you it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's very It goes very specific to where did you, like, literally on the map, where did you perform better than somewhere else. It goes very deep. It's very helpful.
And for you guys, it could be also interesting to analyze how does that program work. Where does it get its data? How does it make those recommendations?
Yes.
What's going on?
That's what Auerbach.
Yes,
I showed it to Auerbach.
Your
teacher at our school.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, that's kind of cool. How does it work? Where does it get the info from? How does And
we can use that to develop like a curriculum or a program for the other students of the school to create something like that for a different game that's not not in existence yet. So that's what I mean. The esports is like so many students are excited about it, but there's so many hooks that we can use to like sneakily teach you guys stuff. You don't even know it.
You don't even notice until you're like, wait, I just learned something.
I need to like make a calculation about how many times, I don't know, what is your the rate that you fire your bullets and how many times do they hit and how many times do they miss and
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
like your average and you need to do all kinds of sort of like math.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm doing math.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I don't even notice it.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not for everyone, of course. We have a lot of different target groups here. We have a lot of different type of students, but I do believe that esports can be, for many students, it can be like an interesting addition to their time here at school.
I definitely agree to that.
Yeah.
I think personally that esports is the innovation of education.
Mm.
It's
Denmark
so
agrees.
Denmark
Sweden
definitely
agrees.
Yeah.
But the point is, esports is good in this way for education because you can use games to learn something. Gamification, that's the best term of this century.
Probably.
I'm just gonna say, it's my opinion. I find it this the best term in the century because we have seen it coming up in the whole world. I mean, everyone knows Minecraft. Now, Minecraft is used on like basic level in education to learn people about all kinds of stuff. I
Even
haven't
like
tried it.
chemistry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't tried it myself, but I actually want to right now because I'm seeing it everywhere. It's used for this, it's used for that, and you can learn all kinds of things, and it's fun. Even though I already know it, it looks fun.
Yeah, that's
so,
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also engaging.
yeah,
it
it
is
makes it
engaging.
easy to talk about something you like rather than, oh yeah, I got math today, sir. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
my math homework.
And
You-
you have to learn in a more traditional
Yep.
way also topics. Sometimes it's learning new things is hard work. So sometimes you just have to read a text or watch a video or do
Yeah.
some like assignments. You
Yep.
have to do that too because that's also something that you're learning. To not just give up and do the work you need to do, and then apply it maybe in an esports setting or with your team or do stuff with it that you're thinking it's more fun. But it's a
Yeah.
combination of those things, and I think especially you guys have had a very suboptimal educational career here at our schools. Due to COVID, something that we could not like prevent, but also the technical problems that we've had with the hack.
Yeah, school getting hacked. That's
And
yeah.
We had to I'm happy that I'm not one of the students at the moment because it was not the way that you want to
No.
spend your time at school here. So for that, I hope that this has been a part for you guys to have a bit more fun at school and learn stuff and do the things that you wanted to do, but also develop your skills and yourselves as persons and as humans.
Yeah.
And hopefully, whatever, if you pursue a career in esports or something completely different, I hope it's been like a learning experience for you.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
It is already a learning experience.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
No, not yet,
It
but
is
we're
still
getting there.
over,
It's
we're
getting.
there.
pretty
I mean, it's getting
quickly,
close.
Like you're
Yeah.
over halfway now, and well, we're gonna maybe take the rest of this school year. We're officially ending in March, but maybe we have to make it a bit later. But we'll see how it goes, and then we'll start with a new program in September.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
that's pretty close.
That's pretty
It's
close.
pretty close. Yeah, it is.
Actually.
Time is
Yeah.
going fast.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Really is.
If you
Yeah, you
enjoy
guys
your
are
time.
also getting old. Don't worry.
Oh,
no.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Finally. Yeah.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Thank you for my co-host again.
No worries.
You know,
no problem.
thank you to myself, I guess. I don't know.
Thank
I
you.
say.
Thank you for being the host.
Delano.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Well, yeah. I hope everyone had fun.
Yep.
Yes, and I will see everyone later again. Bye bye.
Heck yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the ROCM podcast. You can follow us on our socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter with the handle @ROCM_esports.